Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House bringing you another video in the project series Making the Medicine. So here we're just simmering down any remaining ethanol from the concentrate, and it's sitting in a Pyrex measuring cup which can take high heat, and basically the reasoning for that is it has a spout on it for transferring later on, which is fantastic. The Pyrex makes it so the glass won't break because it can withstand high temperatures, and it has a wide mouth on it, so if I got to get in there and do anything I can, but never really need to. In this process it's pretty tedious. I can set the timer up to just let it slowly boil off. Now it does take a little bit of time because water boils about 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That doesn't transfer, heat doesn't transfer through glass very well. So the max you're going to get transferring through is about 202 degrees Fahrenheit, which is fine, but you don't want to have any water sitting in there. That's why there is none inside the concentrate, because then it'll just sit there, it will not boil off. But the alcohol boils at 173 Fahrenheit, so it just slowly takes out the ethanol and goes from there. So I have a little temperature probe that I use to double check and verify internal temperatures at the bottom of the Pyrex. And you know, normally I had to set it at a little bit higher than normal to get to just past the 173 Fahrenheit mark, so I had to bump it up to like 600 watts on the induction cooktop. And you see it here, it's way too runny. See how that's way too runny here, guys? I just did this for video purposes only. See how that's way too liquidy? That means it's not done yet whatsoever. Alrighty guys, so we're just going to pour that right back into the Pyrex cup because it's way too liquidy. It's not done, and that just goes to show you what you're dealing with when making this stuff. So eventually I poured that back into the Pyrex cup. I have a oven safe glove that I use to carefully handle the hot Pyrex measuring cup. And since the majority of the ethanol has boiled down, what you really have to do now is do what I'm doing here, is stirring it, and you'll see bubbles pop up, and those bubbles mean that's the ethanol boiling off, whatever's left over in there. And you have to do this, which is tedious, every once in a while, because when it's boiling down, you'll have like a skin on the top surface of the solvent, which is the ethanol, and the skin will stop the alcohol from boiling off because it traps basically the bubbles underneath it, like a raft almost. So you got to stir it around, and that's basically what you do to eliminate the rest of the ethanol. So here you can see we're getting down to the very nitty-gritty here. Very to nil bubbles going on, and which is a good sign. That means all the ethanol is gone. You can see that there. There's not really bubbles sitting around in different areas. That means the majority, 99.9%, is gone. And you'll see some like tiny little micro bubbles here and there, but nothing like that's going to hurt you whatsoever. So pretty hard to do while filming with the temperature probe and camera in one hand. But I'm just going around the bottom of the, trying to go around the bottom of the glass jar to give you a reading. But here, guys, we're ready for the pour. So basically, we are completed on our pour of, or our cooking off of the ethanol, and this is what it should look like coming out. It's not as runny. It's thick. It still runs fairly smooth here, as you can see. And I'm just filling up this tiny little jam jar uh, with the medicine, the RSO, and just put it aside carefully, let it cool off, and you can store it in your fridge or wherever after the fact. But you can see it's real thick, and all that ethanol is removed from that, so now it's safe to consume. And you don't need to consume very much of this stuff at all, because it's very potent. It's a pound concentrate of high THC indica. And so you guys remember how we cleaned and recovered medicine before in our earlier segment of this series of videos. So what I'm going to do is place that measuring cup back on there, and you can see there's still remnants of medicine in there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bust out the next method in this series, and this is how to recover the leftovers in your glass Pyrex. And we kind of went over it before in earlier videos, same methods, and we'll show you that here coming up in the next series of videos. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Live daily content, become a Patreon member. Click on the link on my YouTube channel at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Click on support this channel. It'll take you to the Off-Grid Tiny House page on Patreon, or you can just Google it. Sign up and join in. Thank you.